Is President Duterte's drug war really a failure? According to the official estimate, there have been 6,600 deaths during the Duterte administration's bloody war on drugs since it started in June 2016. But with these thousands of deaths, only around 0.50% to 0.86% from 2017 to 2019 of the estimated 129,000 to 156,000 kilograms of shabu or crystal meth consumed per year was seized by the government. That is, as revealed by the Philippine Vice President's report after her 18-day stint as co-chair of the ICAD or Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs in 2019. Taking the report into consideration, is 1% of the estimated supply of crystal meth seized in the last 3 years really worth killing thousands of people? This is Speak Up, bringing you all the information about issues from around the world straight from major foreign news sites. The news will be made simpler and more interesting, maintaining the views of the news sites we will be sourcing from. Let's find out what resulted from the 3-year drug war launched by the president since he took office in June 2016. When then presidential candidate Duterte made a promise to end the drug menace in the country, no one probably knew to what extent it would be. Only a month after he was sworn to office, hundreds of suspected drug dealers were killed. This included those who were assassinated vigilante style. Now, 3 years has passed and the death toll has reached thousands, and most of them are from the urban poor section of the community. Not only that, based on Human Rights Watch research, the police were, if not still are, falsifying evidence to justify the unlawful killings. Those killings included what has been tagged by the president as collateral damage. Unfortunately, lives of young people are part of that. Not to mention, the term ninja cops was coined because of cops who steal confiscated drugs and sell them to make money. However, despite those deaths, the money spent to fund drug operations, and all the effort made by the government to curb the drug problem in the country, very little has been accomplished according to the Vice President. Her critics dismissed her report and argued that her findings are a mere political attack. The president described her as a colossal blunder. To be fair, perhaps the positive results of the drug war should also be considered. What has become better since the war on drugs started? For one, it shone more light to the extent of the drug problem in the country. Filipinos became aware of how serious it is, and compared to previous administrations, Duterte's government didn't turn a blind eye on this problem. This awareness made different government agencies work towards quelling the drug problem. It also highlighted that people with high positions have been participating in protecting the drug trade. More than 1 million of drug users and traffickers have surrendered for drug rehabilitation. Aside from that, corruption in the PNP has been addressed since certain cops were implicated for selling confiscated drugs, which has probably been happening even in past administrations. The drug war has also given people hope that their communities can be safe and that the crime rate has been reduced. It is shown by recent surveys how Filipinos support the government policies to address the drug problem in the country. What about the Vice President's report? Is it even accurate? As mentioned in a Rappler article, the statistical analysis revealed in the report might be inaccurate since the data given to the Vice President could not also be confirmed. However, the data also came from the government's various drug enforcement agencies. Though the statistical part of the report is probably unreliable, it still reveals one fact. That is, the government still doesn't have a good estimate of the baseline numbers related to drug consumption or the amount of drugs still circulating in the country. It might not be possible to get a real estimate of the drug consumption in the country, as said by one of the president's supporters, and that could be true. Is the Duterte administration's drug war really a failure? Well, the Vice President made it clear that President Duterte's drug war is a failure. Based on her report, that should be the case. On the other hand, supporters of the president and those who are in the forefront or the front line of the drug war said otherwise, that the government's accomplishments and efforts should not be dismissed, as told by the PIDEA or Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency chief. Which one of them is a better judge to the result of the drug war so far? Is it right to trust the Vice President's report alone to measure the success of the drug war? Is it also enough to rely on data or the rating the government has on the drug war? Critics, whether they are on the side of the administration or the opposition, are usually quick to judge when both have a point in the matter. If they can just consider each other's views and suggestions, then they can probably come up with a better solution. According to the ICAD report, the drug crackdown focused more on street-level enforcement, making it anti-poor, since most of the drug dealers and users caught or killed or who surrendered are small-time. That's the reason why, despite the drug raid, the drug supply hasn't been stopped because the source has remained unrestricted. Hopefully, the government has learned from the first 3 years of the drug war, and now that a new PNP chief has been appointed, people will have to wait if he will be able to cleanse the corrupt PNP and make the campaign against illegal drugs a better version of his predecessor's campaigns. He mentioned that going after high-value targets will be the focus of the PNP's fight against illegal drugs. This is something that the Vice President has also mentioned in her report. It's probably about time for the government to try a new approach. Perhaps consider the practices of a city like Bogo in Cebu, which achieved its drug-free status without any deaths. Or maybe try looking into what has worked successfully in a bigger community like Finland. As mentioned in a Forbes article, Finland, which has the top spot in the security metric in the 2019 Global Competitiveness Report, is a developed country, while the Philippines is an emerging market country. However, it is not wrong to look up to developed countries as role models. The drug war is a continuous battle, as said by one Philippine senator. It might be early to tell if the president's war on drugs has really failed. However, it will not end, especially if the country's top officials won't even have a single sit-down meeting to talk about a better approach, and if people surrounding them won't stop politicizing every issue. This is Speak Up. Thank you for watching.